It now seems strange that a while ago, a woodworker like me decided to get serious about gardening with the idea of eating out of my backyard. I even planted over the winter to prepare for this growing season. But a few days ago, I had to ask myself, when do you know you've planted enough? And then what? So let's see where the garden is at this point. My 9A garden is probably ahead of most of the country due to a warm winter. So you get a chance to learn from my mistakes. First, the butternut squash has taken off, along with the pole beans that instantly seem to know to climb the trellis. Pretty soon, I'll begin to train the squash to move up the trellis as well and get them off the ground. The summer squash is producing a lot of male flowers, but so far no females to produce fruit. The alliums and nasturtiums have settled into their beds, and it's exciting to see their flowers bloom. And the tomatoes seem to like the beds I made for them, and all the work I did was worth it. They've responded to the early heat and even begun to produce flowers. And of course, the peach tree. The kohlrabi is almost ready for harvest. Planting onions with them has definitely helped against pests. The cabbage are still poking along, and we'll see what they plan to do over the next few weeks. I'm already eating bush beans, and they make a great veggie with evening meals. I just trimmed these second-year collards. I picked them, and the leaves just come back even larger. The strawberries have not produced as much this year, but the berries are definitely bigger. More bush beans and a blanket flower that I may regret putting in the middle of the bed because they self-seed easily. We'll see. And of course, my favorite, kale with garlic. Then there are the cucumbers and pole beans. Both have started climbing the trellis I built for them. And on to the corn, where I've done the Three Sisters method of corn, squash, and beans. So far, it seems to be working. My neighbor gave me some peppers and beefsteak tomatoes, so we'll see how they go. Over here is a starter bed of zinnias and marigolds that I plan to place throughout the garden when they're larger for pollination and color. And of course, the Russian kale is holding its own despite the heat. And finally, on to the 3-plant bed of cucumbers, beans, and loofah. I'm glad I put in that extra climbing string because each has started to climb to make the bed pretty full. But all that planning came at a price because I neglected other things like the screen porch that was my workroom. So today was the day I realized it was time to stop planting, take back my life, and begin to actually enjoy life with a garden. The hardest part of clearing the screen porch was where to start. Even Sunny Girl seems to be thinking, how did we let it get this bad? I planted out a blanket of wildflowers I plan to put near the seating area and then began to seriously clear the screen porch. After a good amount of time, the screen porch was once again a place where I could enjoy watching the garden. And of course, one thing led to another, and I could see that the seating area needed some attention. So why not use some of the remaining bricks for the side garden? But of course, nothing goes smoothly, and I once again had to wrestle with a really big root. But I was determined. And finally got it out. All that remained was to dig out the space and begin to place the bricks. Once that was done, why not go ahead and put in the play sand to completely finish the project? that done, I could see a spot to rest after working in the garden. A spot where I could take in the lantana flowers or view the pergola and not associate coming outside just with work, but also enjoyment. And I hope you do the same as you plant out your garden. Take time to build in areas to enjoy the results of all that work. See you next time.